Well, good morning, everybody. Let's make this official. As I asked Demo, has everyone had their coffee? Everyone feeling good? Anyone bring a guitar? What's up, guys? Where's all the amps and guitars?
I heard there's a goodie bag. You can hand them out.
Wise guy. I'll deal with you later. Actually, we're in the right spot, though, guys. I just see the show down here. It's I'm a blind man. I ain't supposed to see that, but I do. And no, it looks like a lot of fun, man. I'm really proud to be here. And did anyone catch the show last night?
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. All right. Well, we'll try to, mix it up for you a little bit. Play some songs we didn't do last night. Who knows? We're just an old guitar band, so a lot of the songs we do we'll have to probably repeat. But just don't tell the boys, man. I told you. I'm supposed to give the show away. But well, I'm Johnny Hiland, and I'm here to talk to you about some chicken picking guitar this morning. And it's really fun to chicken pick on an Ernie Ball. I've actually just recently jumped on with Music Man guitars and absolutely love these guitars. They're awesome. And it's amazing, people say, well, man, why didn't you go back to a Telecaster? And I said, well, I wanted something still with 24 frets and a tremolo. And Fender really doesn't make anything like that really suits my fancy. So the Ernie Ball Silhouette was really even a surprise to them that I like this guitar. But actually, I started playing guitar when I was 3 years old. My aunt come bring my dad a 1939 J45, and it was all beat to crap and cool, And of course, my dad had trouble playing the radio, so the guitar was something that I kind of drug around like Linus with a security blanket. I had to have that guitar with me at all times. And in fact, I started getting in trouble because I was born with an eye disease called nystagmus and have trouble seeing. And I started playing Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard songs when I was about 4. And, started kindergarten, first grade, staying out late. My parents didn't know where the heck I was, but the bus driver was named Dougie Fry, and I'd stay on the bus and sing him old songs, and he had an Italian restaurant, so I ate for free all night. And as you can see, the meatballs stayed, I think. But no, it was really cool though. As a young kid, I played like Jeff Healey. I laid that old Gibson flat on my lap and played with my thumb, and it just kind of barred the chords that way. And played my first TV show at 7, and it was cool because the steel guitar player kept standing up, looking over, my shoulder. So I wondered if I was playing a lap steel, but. That was a fun way of playing, but of course, growing a little older, my dad wanted me to learn to play the correct way, which was a lot of fun. And I actually learned from 2 different people in my life. I took 7 lessons my entire life on guitar. The rest of my years were sitting in a room with a CD player. And but actually, the first gentleman was named Phil Gallup, and he played in a jazz band in Hartford, Connecticut for a number of years. And played an old 335, and it was really cool. He was a great guy, and played guitar in my bluegrass band. Actually, it was fun to hear a jazz player do that. But no, actually, as a young boy with the Gibson, I really listened to a lot of bluegrass. I grew up playing a lot of open string licks and a lot of And then I would get to the point where I started bending them around, when I got my first electric guitar, which was an 87 Strat. I just started messing around with the bluegrass licks that I had learned and tried to sound like Ricky Skaggs. My dad took me to see Ricky when I was 10, and he just blew my mind, man. Back when he had Country Boy out and Highway 40 Blues, and it was amazing to see Ricky. He jumped up on a PA speaker with his purple telly and just, tore me up. I loved it. And from that point on, I said, Dad, I need an electric guitar, which my mom was going, oh, crap. And trust me, I got in trouble a lot. Actually, I had an old 64 410 Custom for a long time that my dad got from a guy in the mill. And it was fun. I had an old woodshed where I would crank up and jam out, you know, playing everything from Van Halen to Metallica to Ricky Skaggs to Vince Gill but you know, even as a young player growing up, I never realized that I would definitely be a chicken picker. You know, I loved Ricky and I loved Vince, but you know, and Albert Lee, guys like that, and Danny Gatton, and they all had a massive impact on my playing and how I learned. But you know, then as a teenager, I started getting into you know, Van Halen and Steve Vai and cats like that. And of course, love me some old Chet stuff too. I was a 5-string banjo player as a kid, and so you know, when I grabbed my guitar for the first time, it was fun to. So, you know, playing that old Chet style stuff was a lot of fun.